he just sent a serious message to the Panthers organization with some big-time play, helping the Cats get a big win last night, as did this man, which leads Bill Zito having to make a pretty big decision about the first one and a possible contract extension. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. As always, hit that subscribe button down below. Help me get to 4,000 subs. I'd really appreciate that, as well as hype up these videos. Hit that button as well. You guys need to stick to this channel so you can stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. So we're going to talk about the big win last night. Cats needed to put points on the board so they can stay in that hunt for the wild card. They're 1 point out right now. Got to keep things rolling. We'll take a look at their schedule, a little post-game analysis, talk Daniil Tarasov, talk AJ Greer. What did we see in that game last night? It was great all around by the Cats. I mean, impressive. 12 players had a point in that game, and 6 guys, 6, had 2 or more points. So a great win for the Cats last night. They really looked sharp in a lot of areas. Still had a couple of little issues there with some turnovers and loss of possession that led to some odd man rushes and breakaways. But let's just jump right into this right now, guys. Well, Daniil Tarasov, he has been playing great this season. As I've said in previous episodes, his win-loss record really doesn't speak to how well he has actually been playing this season. He has looked sharp. In his lateral motion, he's looked great. He's made some big saves. Yes, he's let a couple slide in there, here and there, and you'll see one in the highlight video in just a second. But his numbers are good. 2.45 goals against average, a .913 save percentage. Yes, he finally picked up that second win of the season. Looked sharp. We needed him to come up big last night, as he did. Yes, I know the Nashville Predators have been struggling, but still, it's a big win for the Cats. If they came up with the L last night, man, they're going to be falling behind in those standings. Not tremendously, but we cannot be playing too much catch-up right now. We're 1 point out of that wild card spot, as I said. And what I wanted to get to, though, is does this man deserve a contract extension? The only reason why I say this is because if they try to extend him now, I'm not saying a long-term deal, because you still got to figure out what Bob is going to do. How long is he going to stay? How much is he going to cost? But I feel if they extend Daniil Tarasov sooner than later, they could still get him on the cheaper end of things. And you could say, hey, we're going to be putting you here for the next 3 years as our backup. Let's give you $1.5 million a year and increase a little bit with the play that he's had. He's done well. The numbers show for it. The highlights show for it as well. And speaking of those highlights, guys, let's just get into them right now. So here we go. Great highlights from last night. Great goal, 11 seconds in, third fastest goal in franchise history. AJ Greer was on fire last night. What a performance by him. 2 goals, 1 assist. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Here, it's a hard spot to be in, but you can see the hole that he gave up right there. Little deflection from the Nashville Predators player in front of the net, and it sneaks in. Tarasov wasn't hugging the post enough to stop that one. Had he been in a better position and not let that little bit of a hole right there between that bottom pad, the post, as well as his arm and his body, I think he would have stopped that one. A little bit of a shaky goal right there by Tarasov, but he had some other impressive ones, like right there. Odd man rush. I would say you could pretty much call that almost a breakaway, borderline. Yeah, we were trying to get there on that back check. Couldn't quite get there, but Daniil Tarasov came up big with the stop. Here is one of these other goals. I mean, you can't do much about that when you're getting a shot right in front. It's going towards the corner. You stop it with the pad. You give a big rebound, and the rest of the goal's wide open. So good effort. Unfortunately, it did hit the back of the net. And what an awesome goal right here. Boquist put on the Jets, showing some speed. I said it before. He has looked great out there. Very speedy. Great on both sides of the ice, offensively, defensively. Great on the forward check, too. And, man, I'm liking the way he's looking. This Cats team, they're deep, and they're starting to show it. I've said it before. They're pretty much in the same position as they were last year. If you compare the two in terms of where they are in the season, very similar, except it's more competitive in the East this year compared to last year. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Here we go. Another great goal right there. Here is another great stop. A little bit of an error on Tarasov, and you can see there, but got back into position, made a big stop. Let's keep going. Another big goal by the Cats. Good stop right there by Tarasov. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these pretty much, you can almost call them, like I said, breakaway goals, if you will, because there's really nobody stopping him. There's really nobody getting him on that back check and trying to mess up the shot there, or have the mental lapse there to put in to the mind of that offensive player for the Nashville Predators. We just weren't there. We had some lackadaisical things that happened. We did cough the puck up a little bit. I know some people were writing about Mackie Samoskevich. It seems like he's so speedy. He's everywhere on the ice. He's great, but his puck control was, it seems like every time he has it, he coughs it up somewhere. I disagree. I think more times than not, he's trying to make a play. If it's not putting the Panthers in a position that's making them, odd man rush, like a 2-on-1, or if it's a breakaway, then I'm not too worried, especially if he's coughing it up in the offensive zone and we got plenty of guys to go back on defense and try to stop the rush in the other direction. So anyways, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Back to these images. So Daniil Tarasov, should they extend him or should they not sooner than later? I think he's earning it. I wouldn't say immediately, but probably in the next 2 or 3 months. Still, let's see how well he can play moving forward, especially against some of the better teams that are out there. Because, like I said, we're about to take a look at the schedule coming up, and it's not going to be easy, guys. So, our homestand, you can see here, I highlighted those last 3 games because that is a big stretch for us against some of the better teams in the league, especially Tampa Bay, who is first in the Atlantic Division as of today. But our homestand, we have a really good shot here to make up some ground. We could probably rattle off 4 in a row right there from the get-go with Philly, Calgary, Toronto, and then Nashville again. I'm going to say a little bit more of that test to be Columbus and then the New York Islanders, who've actually been surprisingly good this season. They've been actually a decent story if you want to look them up and see how they've been playing this year. They've been doing pretty well. And then we hit the road for 4 games, a very tough West Coast, essentially, road trip to start it. And Utah's been playing pretty well as well, but man, Colorado, they just look unstoppable. 1 loss on the season. I know they got some overtime losses, but still, only 1 regulation loss. Unbelievable. That's going to be a huge test for the Cats coming up December 11th. And then Dallas, who's been playing well. And like I said, Tampa Bay, hopefully we can get a little redemption from the game in the previous weeks and really take it to them in Tampa, kind of turn the tables on them a little bit. Let's keep going here. So last night, Greer's 2 goals and an assist led the Panthers over the reeling Predators 8-3. I mean, it was more lopsided that score even shows. They could have had another 2 or 3 goals they could have tacked on top. But let's go over some of the stats right now. Right in the front, right in the beginning, shots, hits, face-off wins. We were not very good there, but I don't think we needed to be as physical as we usually are in most of these games because our offense was there. We were clicking on all cylinders in terms of the chemistry in the offensive zone. Plus, our guys, especially that Verhaeghe, Bennett, Greer line, I mean, they were just, the net looks like it was open the whole time. I mean, they were plus 13 on the ice, 4 goals, 3 assists on that line. The next line up after that had a lot of success was that Boquist, Erod, and Rhino line was plus 4, 3 goals and 3 assists. So they were one of those lines that let a couple of goals in. But overall, the team, I think, was excellent. I mean, you see 14 block shots compared to the Predators' 4. We had 10 takeaways last night. That was huge. A lot of them were in the offensive zone. So again, we're picking up things in our offensive third of the ice. But I think our defensive third, we still need to be a little more careful, especially when we're on our penalty kill. Obviously, our special teams were okay. We had some opportunities. I think there was a couple that we should have put to the back of the net, but we didn't. I think Bennett could have had another one out there last night as well. But overall, I'm not going to give it an A+ for this. I'm going to say an A-. I do think they should have taken it a little bit harder to this team. They could have scored more goals. Got to find those openings at the net and not throwing the puck right at the goaltender. But overall, very solid performance. Here are the numbers. I mean, I don't know what was going on. Luke Kunin was awesome in the circle. 7 wins, 1 faceoff loss, 87.5 faceoff win percentage. Bennett struggled. Lundell struggled. Evan Rodriguez was okay at that 46.7%. But yeah, we kind of struggled in the circle except for Luke Kunin. He was great. And you can see there, the circles that I have under the plus-minus, Bennett, Greer, Verhaeghe, they were phenomenal. And I have a couple underlines there for Sam Reinhart. Goal and 2 assists. Evan Rodriguez, a goal and assist. Cats looked good and sharp on the offensive side of things. So I liked what they were doing. Defenseman, Balinskis, 2 big-time assists. Awesome job of him. And Gustav Forsling, goal and assist, plus 3 out there. Overall, great play. And you can actually see Daniil Tarasov, 923 save percentage, stopping 36 of 39 total shots. He was dynamite. Yeah, a couple questionable things here and there, but again, you can't really blame him except for that first goal that happened. I wouldn't blame him for the other two. He tried to stop the puck as well as he could. Unfortunate bounce off, unfortunate rebound in front of the goal that went right to a Predators player. You saw it in the highlights, so it happens. Bob's let those guys in too, but the thing between Bob and Tarasov is Bob usually does not give up big rebounds. He's usually able to control the puck, put a glove on it, he'll squeeze his body around it or get it underneath his pads, and he will hold on to the puck so the whistle is blown and have a face-off. Tarasov can give up some rebounds at times, but he's looking more and more sharp every single game that we see him play. But I want to see him get tested. Let's see him in a bigger battle with a team that's got a lot more talent on it, that's higher up in the standings. That's going to be the big test for him coming up in the future, is how is he going to play against these better teams that are higher up in the standings. So, great game last night. Great to see them actually get 2 points on the board. Let's see if they come back in this homestand and rattle off about 4 in a row, maybe 5 in a row. They'll definitely catch up on the standings if they're able to do that. I already said we can't win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 2. That can't keep happening. We've got to put a string of wins together to keep rising in the standings. Pretty basic math, guys. Keeping it simple here. So again, put your comments down below. Let me know what you think about Daniil Tarasov. Do you think he deserves an extension? Should they do it sooner or later? Because the sooner they do it, they could probably get him cheaper than if they wait and he starts to have a lot of success later in the season, because his asking price will be higher. And then we're right back to square one where we were at the end of the season last year, searching for a backup. I say tie him down now, not necessarily long term, maybe 3 to 5 year contract. Like I said, maybe $1.5 million a year, maybe 1.75. Panthers can afford it. The big question is, what is Bobrovsky going to cost us at the end of the year? If he does keep playing, I think he will, especially if the season's kind of lost because we keep dealing with injuries, stuff like that. But I've got major optimism with Tkachuk coming back. Is he going to be the ideal guy that's going to change our season and turn it around? Not necessarily. Is he going to be a plus for us? Absolutely. His talent, there's no other Matthew Tkachuk like him in the league. He's put up great numbers. I think with him coming back, it'll definitely put energy back into this team. He'll be hopefully back on that line with Bennett and probably Erod. And let's see if they can start getting things clicking again. I think he's going to be great when he comes back. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, again, thank you so much. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that hype button. Help me get to 4,000. And again, wait for tomorrow night's matchup. It's going to be a good one. Go Cats.